Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Races Driving League Season 17, Round 18 of the Championship. Welcome to the Singapore Grand Prix, here from the Marina Bay Street Circuit. I'm your host, Zach RC, feeling a tad bit ill this week, but I'm still going to try and give you guys an absolutely excellent evening of qualifying and racing. Qualifying getting underway as we speak. First few cars making their way out to the circuit. Before we get started, of course, make sure to as I've said in the chat, make sure to subscribe for the rest of the RDL season. 8 more rounds to go, including today, up to round 25, which will be the European Grand Prix, which is confirmed as the season finale in Portimao, the reverse grid finale. So we'll run the remainder of the F1 season, which has just 6 races to go in itself, and then so we'll run those races and then the last round in Portimao. So you get underway then. Qualifying now beginning. We are currently running on board with your new championship leader, Landlord, who now leads them by 15 points over Gaming James. Has been the long-term leader of the standings throughout, but a poor run of races has left the RB driver stranded in the championship fight, allowing the Haasman to reclaim the lead for himself in a bid to try and win his 4th RDL championship. James still hunting his first. 3rd place Grumio won last time out in the end in Azerbaijan, and he sits just 39 points off the lead. Perhaps a wild card 3rd contender to win the championship this season, looking to win his 8th crown in this series. He's already broken his end plate, so not a fantastic start to his qualifying session, but I assume he knows what he's doing there. He's got everything under control, and we'll see how he can navigate the circuit. Of course, a circuit that was changed for F1 23, and of course we carry on with that same change. What was previously the run under the bridge, the chicane, now just a longer straight. 3 DRS zones on this circuit, one on the main straight, one going out of down through turn 5 and towards turn 6, and then one sort of towards the end of the 2nd sector. So we'll see Grumio try and tackle the circuit here. Former race winner here in Singapore, won his last race in season 15. Very clean navigation of the first couple of corners on the circuit. Through 4. DRS deployed for him here. See one of the Ferraris over on the right hand side there. Looks like it'll be Red J, who's on that lap at the minute. Let everyone go. 26.0 his first sector, so good start for Grumio here. We'll see what sort of pace he's got. Through 7. See a bit of debris, and that might be his end plate from a lap ago, so you can see now where he lost it. Through 8. And now down towards the former Singapore sling, that's turn 9. Look at the amount of control you've got to have to keep your machine in between those barriers. The left-hander, very tight part of the circuit for going into a DRS straight. A good exit here is required for an overtake to be made, regardless of pace. End of the 2nd sector, 1 minute 2.3. Might get a bit of a tie off the Williams if Bright was lucky, but I don't think he's close enough for that. So he comes down towards the chicane. Imri says the first time of the session, 126.773. There we go. Couple of points wrong. Lucky that might go 2nd. 127.9. We'll see if Grumio's got line up in store. Can he match Imri's time? He can, but it's not enough to take. Not enough to take P1. 126.9. Ethan in front. 128.6. A bit of work to do there from the Williams camp. Williams who's sitting in 6th place in the Constructors' Championship right now. Of course, in terms of that Constructors, Haas not letting up and continuing to pull away as they race to try and win another Constructors' Championship. A few more cars across the line now. Ben across in P5. Kopp puts himself to 3rd place. Curtis in 4th. Lucky 5th. Dan and Duck, not fantastic time so far. Missing just the one driver in today's race. I'll go over my notes to check who that is. I believe that is Che, the one car we're missing. So Ben by himself in the Red Bull tonight. Was Ben scoring points in recent races? So far 9 drivers have set lap times. Here comes Red J in the Ferrari through to be one of the few cars to come through to the next one. I believe that's PJ on that lap right now. He's coming into the pit lane. Reg stays out though. Not a fantastic first lap, 1:29.009. But 2 times slower than this so far. One of them being Daniel Arendt, the other one being Flying Duck. Of course, Ferrari now 1 point in front, largely thanks to Reggie's efforts in the last few races, getting a couple of 8th place finishes a few times in a row. He now finds himself and his teammate Courtney Goblin, I'd say 1 point clear of Aston Martin, Obsessed Gamer and Daniel Aaron in the constructors split. Aston Martin are finding their pace in the last few weeks, particularly in qualifying. Obsessed is getting closer and closer to the rest of the pack in terms of times. He's really pushing on and finding pace in the majority of tracks. But he said to me last week during the post-race interviews from Azerbaijan, obviously Singapore, a very similar circuit to this, so this could be a potential struggle for the Aston Martin guys. So we'll see what they've got lined up. Of course, Ferrari looking for more of the same. There is your now former Championship leader, Gaming James, who's led the standings from the majority of the way this campaign. Lost them after last week's race. So he goes into today 15 points behind Landon after he finished 13th last time out in Azerbaijan, looking for an improvement here. He's still hunting that 5th win of the season, very similar to Max Verstappen's current campaign, which of course Max won a number of races at the start of the year, but hasn't won since mid-June. And that was in Spain. We've gone 8 races in which Max hasn't actually won a Grand Prix. James's last win was a race prior to that. That was in Canada. So we have gone our 8 races with James here. So he's waiting on win number 5 this season. Of course, took his first 3 of his RDL career all on the trot. So Australia came first, then it was Japan, and then China. He added the dominant win in Canada to that record. But still looking for win number 5 on the season. Of course, Grumio now leads the category with his 5th win coming in Azerbaijan. Pope retiring the session there, puts himself P3, 1:27.093. Should be safe to get him into Q2. Both Mercedes cars going out. We've got Pope actually in here now. Pope, welcome onto the stream. Solid lap there. Talk us through the circuit today.
Yeah, so it's brilliant. I mean, this new change, my first time driving this new layout. I mean, obviously it was introduced last season with Sector 3 looking very, very different, a nice little straight there. And yeah, improved, I would say, on the old layout. It's feeling a lot like Hungary is the way I would describe it. And obviously, I'm going to mention that because that's where I got my first race win of the season, I believe. No, second.
Third.
Was my third, was it?
Yep, because you won Imola and then you won Austria.
Oh wow! See, there you are.
I think you just wanted me to remind you which race you won.
Maybe so, but yeah, it's gonna be a really tough race. 31 laps, it's grueling. It is, yeah, really, really tough, and the walls are very, very close. So it'll be interesting to see who can get around all 31 laps without taking any damage or making any mistakes. But the one person I will put money on is probably Grumio.
Of course, Grumio last week. As you said, this is an endurance test in every sense of the word. As you see Grumio running over the curb at turn 4. I mean, alongside Grumio, is there anyone else you see having a good race today?
I mean, Imri's looking quick, obviously, P1 right now. It's Q1, so everyone's going to be doing different little programs. Obviously, people kind of making sure they're locked in for the race. I know I have a very different program to Imri from what I've seen. So, yeah, everyone's going to be kind of starting to ramp up the pace, especially those who have been knocked out in Q1 in recent weeks. They're definitely going to want to improve. You've got a yellow flag. I don't know who that is. Is that Obsessed Gamer? No, it's Dan.
Dan has gone for circuit.
Middle of Sector 2. Yeah, completely thing. I'm just going straight back into the commentary role there. It's quite weird to be back, but lovely to be back, of course.
As usual, happy to have you as well. In terms of the Aston Martins, I do want to point out Obsessed Gamer to you, because he's sitting in P12 right now. He's been getting faster and faster every single week. And he said to us last week he might potentially struggle here, but he's doing fantastically.
Yeah, P12 already, a first run in Q1. I've been speaking to Obsessed as of recently, giving that a little bit of motivation. I kind of obviously got the experience on him. And yeah, no, he's going to do really well. I've just told him a couple of tips and tricks, and hopefully we can see that Aston Martin get a point maybe, or at least try and finish in that top 10. It's going to be a struggle because if you can even see, obviously the Haas and Mercedes team are looking very, very strong right now, if I do say so myself. But McLaren as well, P7 and P11, don't count them out.
Never counting out the other wise heads, Lucky Lambert or JB in these senses. Of course, they're the ones on the thumbnail for tonight's race. But okay, Pope, if you had to give me a winner now, this is the last thing I'll ask before I let you go. If there's one, if you had to give me a winner, actually, you had to give me a pole sitter and a winner now. Who are we going for?
I think Grumio. I mean, from the little bit of testing that I've seen that people have been doing, Grumio is far and ahead the fastest winner. Oh, it's really tough to call around here. You know it.
I know.
I know. I won this in season 11 in a very chaotic race that saw Dan and JB on the podium. So, you know what? I'm gonna say I'm gonna win it.
Really?
Bit of confidence in the camp, and maybe a trick up my sleeve or two.
Right, so Grumio pole, you win, yeah?
We know I'm going to end up in a war by lap 3, but yeah, let's say that.
Well, feel free to come in should that happen. We'll get back to it for the minute. Obviously, 6 minutes to go to the end of Q1, and yeah, we'll hopefully see you back here later on after the race.
Thank you very much. Everyone enjoy the stream.
So that was season 11 champion and former Singapore winner Tuxby Pope once again back in the commentary box as he was around this time last season, putting Grumio down as pole sitter and himself for the victory. So we'll see just what he's got lined up. He said he's got a trick up his sleeve, so we'll see if we can figure out what that is by the time the checkered flag falls on the race later on. So we'll continue on here the last few minutes. At this point, I will say, any drivers who are here get eliminated during Q1, feel free. I'll open things up. You feel free to come in for a quick chat, whatever. I'll talk about what goes on, just to give you guys just a bit more insight. Just give you viewers a bit more insight as to what goes through these guys' heads when they're running a circuit as difficult as this. So push on. Flying Duck in P12 right now. Currently inside the positions that will go through to Q2. 4 cars will be lost at the end of this session. As of right now, those cars looking like Red J and Daniel Aaron, at least. But Courtney Goldman and Alvar still yet to set a lap time. Courtney hasn't left the pits. Alvar on an out lap right now. So I think he's been on a few runs, but hasn't really been with it today in terms of the track limits. Because the limits are... it's one of the circuits where the limits are very, very dangerous. Grumio retired from the session. Of course, it was a penalty that kept Che from fighting Grumio at the end of last week's race. And Grumio had the pace overall to top everyone in the field, so he managed to pull away and win that one. But we'll see in terms of penalties what comes the way of these guys today. Both Mercedes and Haas drivers have retired from the session. Only 4 retirees so far. Mercedes still pushing their way up, trying to close on RB in the Constructors' Championship. As of right now, the gaps between them stand at just 8 points between Mercedes and RB for second place. Haas seem to have this thing wrapped up short of an almighty collapse. 141 points to the good over RB, 149 to the good over Mercedes. Is then Sauber sitting in 4th place right now. They're on 212 points. They are 70 points back from Mercedes. It's then quite a way back to almost another 60 back to McLaren in 5th. Then it's about 40 or 50 back to Williams. Another 20 or 30 back to Red Bull. 20 again back to Alpine in 8th. 40 back to Ferrari in 9th. And then just 1 separated them from Aston Martin in 10th place. Bit of lock-up smoke there from Alvar. We see him on his next run now. This run could be crucial because he's running out of time at this point. So we'll see if he's got the stuff to get himself into Q2. But as of right now, he is going out. .26.4 in the first sector with a lock up there through turn 6. Perhaps not the most fantastic run of corners you could have made, but he's pushing on here. We'll see what he's got lined up for this second sector. James in P5 right now, so right there behind the Haas, the 2 Haas and 2 Mercedes drivers. How close to get to the barriers there, very tight. No damage on that car, he's carrying on, and no violations to the track limits. 1 minute 3.5 for Alvar. It's a good run so far. And this looks to be a Q2 worthy run. final chicane. James now retired from the session. Can Alvar manage to get himself up into the top 15? It's going to be close. P17. He's got time to go again, but Alvar could be in danger here, ladies and gentlemen. Red J 129.009. Slowest time on the board so far. Track perhaps might not suit Ferrari today. It looks so. Daniel Aron will be the first car out. He's retired from the session. Obsessed Gamer still at risk of going out if 2 cars below him improve. Ben on an outlap. There's every chance that Ben manages to get an improvement here. Here he goes. A minute 49 to go, so we've got time for about 1 more lap. Alvar retiring. He's out of qualifying. Reg up to P16. He's got time for 1 more, but I think that'll probably be it for him. Courtney Goblin now merging the pit lane. I don't think unless he really pushed it now, I don't actually think he's got enough time to make it all the way around. If he can make it, then fair play to him, but I think he may have lost his opportunity. Ethan going back on the right. So back in the pit lane here. He's in P13. He looks to be safe. Obsessed Gamer on his last lap now, just trying to guarantee himself that slot in Q2. Ben was a quarter of a second up in his first sector. That'll be enough to improve over Obsessed Gamer. He only needs 9 thousandths. Into the last sector now, 3 tenths up, 3.5 tenths up on his last time. And it looks like Red J is out. Courtney Goblin, unless he can make it to the line in the next 30 seconds, is also out. So it seems that both Ben and Obsessed Gamer are safe in Q2. Ben invalidates there, last corner. Obsessed 1.8 down, but it looks like he's now safe. Courtney, it might just miss out here. And he has. So Courtney will go out of qualifying. Red J just crossed the line. He'll have 1 more time. Yeah, 1 more lap. So unless he can improve it here, he's got a full battery, so we could potentially see a late improvement. But those softens on a few laps. Let's keep an eye on Red J here. Obsessed Gamer towards the line. If both Ben and Red J, well, Ben's invalidated, so Ben is regardless still safe. Well, perhaps might be safe. If Red J can improve on his time here, he doesn't need much. He needs about 700-800 of a second to actually make it into Q2. So he's just got to improve by a little bit. He hasn't got to push it insanely hard. He's got to push it enough to get himself those few little hundreds that could make all the difference here. Who goes out of qualifying? Courtney is, tapped to the wall there for Red J. Second tap. No end plate loss. It looks like, it's a bit of a slide there. It might be the end of his lap. And we might have seen the last of Red J in qualifying here. Ben into the pit lane. Looks to be safe in Q2. Well, he is safe in Q2. Red J, unfortunately, looks to be out. And there goes the end plate on that Ferrari. And he pushes it to the limit there, but it's not enough for Red J, unfortunately. He will be out in Q1. Ben gets through by the skin of his teeth. Obsessed Gamer gets through as well. Red J, Dan, Alvar, and Courtney all out as Imri tops the session. Pope, I don't know if you can hear me. You're still in the Discord. Pope.
I know. I just wanted the first-hand experience of the beautiful commentary.
Watch the stream like everyone else. Well, that'll do it for Q1. Imri tops the session from Grumio and Landlord. Pope in 4th place by 1,000th of a second between those two. And going out, as I say, it's Red J, Dan, Alvar, and Courtney Goblin. So here we go then. Time for Q2 here in Singapore. We're now down to our fastest 15 from Q1. They will be fighting for position in the pole position shootout. And if we're lucky, we might get in a chat or two from some of the drivers who went out in that first part of qualifying. See Imri, they're the first car to emerge back out onto the racetrack. And as we get everyone out on the circuit, we have our first arrival, Daniel Aaron, unfortunately out in the first part of qualifying. Mate, what went wrong for you?
Yeah, I mean, I didn't get too much practice in beforehand. I'm just trying to find my feet around this track again. I thought I put in quite a decent time comparing to everyone else. You know, I wasn't too far from making it to Q3 or Q2, sorry. So I can be happy with my effort, and I look forward to a good race with the Ferraris and a few others.
Yeah, any predictions in terms of who's going to win this race?
I mean, Blaze looks inevitable, but again, this league, you never know. Safety car could always mess some things up, but hopefully it'll be an exciting one.
Sounds good. And we're coming out to Red J, who's also found himself in the bottom 40 in the session there. Red J, so close, mate. What went wrong for you on that last lap?
Yeah, not the worst effort. 16th as well, very much on the cusp of getting through into Q2, which would have been quite nice. I think Obsessed Gamer again showing that quite a sort of twisty, turny track similar to Baku last week when I was watching Baku. He's done pretty well in qualifying, so it'll be interesting to see how we can do in the race. I think it'll be a good battle with the two Astons, and obviously it remains very, very close with them. On the final run, just too many errors. The car sliding around a lot, and then I think I hit the barrier on a couple of occasions, and then you just lose momentum and stuff like that. But yeah, not the most ideal position going into the race. It'll be interesting to see what Obsessed can do in this session, whether he can, try and get into the cusp of getting into, Q3 or something like that. I don't know if the weather might play a part in Q2. It'll be interesting, but yeah, it can all change in the race.
Of course, a point or two for Aston Martin will obviously hurt Ferrari's bid for ninth place in the Constructors' Championship. What's the word on that?
Well, we'll see. It's not the race yet, but who knows what could happen. I think I'm going to go with a bold prediction though for the race. I'm going to go with a first time winner, not even someone who's won before, but just not this season. I'm going to go with a brand new winner. I don't know how many of those there are on the grid, but that's my prediction.
So we'll be looking at perhaps a
me,
flight.
wouldn't it?
Maybe.
That would be unbelievable.
From that far back, I'd applaud you for that. We could be looking perhaps at Duck or Ben, or I'm not actually sure. I have to check my notes on that. I have to see there. Yeah. But since I've got both a Ferrari driver and an Aston Martin driver in the comms box, given that you guys are separated by 1 point in the standings, is there any fighting words you want to give each other for the race?
Good. I mean, yeah, good luck, Red J. Yeah, good luck. I hope we just have some good racing. I don't mind if I win or lose, but as long as we have some good racing, then I'm happy.
Yeah, I feel quite bad now because I've said I was quite feisty in my approach of let's bring the fight. But yeah, at the end of the day, it is only fun in games, but there is that little bit of competitiveness. Of course, we do want to beat each other, I think, but it should be a good race because I think all four of us are quite evenly matched. I mean, some of us are stronger on some tracks compared to others. Clearly, Obsessed has shown that he's stronger with the four of us at this track, or certainly in quali, and it will be interesting to see what he can do in Q2. But yeah, very, very tight between us. I think it will go down to the final race of the season, put it that way.
Sportsmanship at all-time high here in the RDL. Thank you guys both coming along, giving your insight on that first part of qualifying. And yeah, hopefully perhaps we see you back in after the race. Hopefully it's a good one for you guys.
Yeah.
Thank you, Zach. Have a good one.
So that was Red J and Daniel Aaron. A first attempt at a sort of mid-qualifying interview for drivers eliminated from the first part of the session. Of course, I'll be happy to carry on. Perhaps later on, might get someone in for the end of for midway through Q3 or so. We'll try and avoid doing it for Q3 as much, given the Obviously, the importance of what's going on the track, of course, we're racing for pole position. But in terms of the first laps that have come through, everyone came out in one big train for the start of Q2. Only 12 of them actually managed to set up lap times, so 3 of them invalidated or just came back to the pits. Lucky Lambert, Curtis, and PJ all got their first times. But Grumio tops them. Second is Pope, and third is Imri. This time, Imri down to third, Landlord down in fourth. Cotton 5th, James 6th, Webty 7th, Ben 8th, JB 9th, and Flying Duck currently rounds out your top 10 that will go through to Q3, should things stay as they are after the next 10 minutes. But obviously, you guys all know this is RDL and it's Formula 1, anything could change, and most likely will. So we can never guarantee this will be the same top 10 when you get to the end of the session. Of course, we've got 4 guys who are consistently breaking the mark for the sub 27s. Grumio, Pope, Imri, and Landlord appear to be the ones to beat tonight. They've got the pace in their Hask and Mercedes cars respectively. Mercedes, of course, continuing their push to finish in second place in the Constructors' Championship. And from there, we'll see just who's got the nerves towards the latest part of the season. There's still plenty of time for points to be scored. And we are seeing the first few drops of rain come out onto the circuit. So here we go, a bit of a change here for perhaps the remainder of qualifying. A dry to wet quali. But that may actually end up solidifying who makes it into Q2. So everyone's going to try and get their laps in. Sorry, who gets into Q3. So everyone's going to try and get their laps in now, because if that rain gets heavy enough, the intermediate tyres will be the ones on offer, and we may not actually get any faster times than this. Imri getting right back on the racetrack. He's retiring the session though, he's called it. You know the rain's there. Pope, Imri, Grumio, Websy all out. JB out as well. This rain is getting heavy quickly, to be fair. James retiring. Majority of the top 10 all calling it here. 6 drivers have already retired of the 15. And Curtis and PJ might be really kicking themselves here for missing out on their first runs now the weather has arrived. PJ's out, going to try and set a lap. He's running ball with Williams here as he runs into the last couple of corners. See how heavy that rain is falling. The climate here in Singapore. We've seen heavy rain races in the past here. PJ P14. Lucky Lambert also retiring. The top 10 look to be safe here. This rain is here to stay. That could be a concern across the field here, especially those bottom 5. PJ out. He's the first car out of qualifying. Landau retiring from P4. Cotton, the only car in the top 10 who'll make it in to Q3. I mean, it looks like he's safe. He can only fall as far as 9th. He's retired too. So, Duck, Ethan, Obsessed, and Curtis, the only ones who are still in the session. And this is a rarity. We don't often see the majority of the field retire here to the very end of the session when they know where they're placed. So we'll see what these guys have got, but you can already start seeing a bit on the circuit now. A big slide there from Obsessed off the exit turn 6. Curtis on that lap here. No one really towards the end of the circuit to set time. It's allowing that rain to keep on falling and start coating the circuit. It won't be long until we start seeing a bit more spray. And all of a sudden, qualifying has changed completely. It looks like we've seen those 5 cars going out. We know PJ's going out. The slide there. You see how much they're struggling on the soft tyre. I think that, honestly, the qualifying might be set here. Flying Duck and Ethan is still staying in the pit lane, not retiring from the session. So it's just those bottom 5 we're looking at. In comes Obsessed. He may call the end of the session there. And Curtis. He's going to try a lap. He keeps on sliding. Oh, there he goes. And I think I might just do it for Curtis. So on these soft tyres, you really can't set a lap time. Okay, he's going to try and keep it moving. The banker lap has really, really mattered. Of course, typically we'd see drivers setting their first Q2 lap on their old soft from Q1 before going on to their fresh ones. Those laps on the old tyres have really come into play. Obsessed is on the. It looks like he's on the intermediates. He's going to try it on the inters. Keep an eye on Curtis as he continues to fight his way around the circuit. You see him really wrestling that Alpine there. He's keeping it under control, but in terms of a lap time, in a few seconds' time, it'll be. Oh, there he goes. DRS disabled as he's reached the zone. You see how much he's going to get these going here. Another slide. It's more like Tokyo Drift in a minute. Ah! Off into the wall. He's continuing on. He's valiantly going on trying to run this like Obsessed as it is out on the racetrack. Intermediate tyres now on that car. I doubt he can improve his place from there. In comes Curtis. Now calling it quits. It looks as though he's out of qualifying. P15 for him. There he goes. So Duck and Ethan still sat on the pit lane. Obsessed now needs intermediates. We'll see what he's got lined up. Let's run on board. Of course, losing time, you know, being in the wet conditions as it is. See if he's trying to improve his placing. Obsessed now retiring the session, midway through the lap, he's calling it there. So only Duck and Ethan still sat there. Now will they wait to the end of the session? I doubt we see him go again. So that more or less do it for Q2, and just in time to come to an end. So overall from your results, Grimio tops the session from Pope and Imrie, Lado in 4th, Cop 5th, James 6th, MC 7th, Lucky 8th, Ben 9th, and JB in 10th. Only just making it through by 17 thousandths of a second. Duck, Ethan, Obsessed, PJ, and of course, Curtis there at the end. And honestly, in a way, I can't believe that I said that and the rain started. I said we had 10 minutes for things to change. Things haven't changed. They said as they are the exact same lap times, and that is your 10 drivers going into Q3 at Singapore at this moment. And now the heavens have opened. Here we go, the start of Q3. It's looking like we could be seeing full wet tyres on these race cars for the last part of this session. Got a few drivers gunning at intermediates perhaps. We'll have to see what tyre choices these guys emerge with, but this could be a very interesting 12 minutes. We see the Mercedes of Imri, the first car to emerge. Go on to the intermediate tyre. Here comes one of the Haas cars. Grumio out on the... So that's Lando out at the inters, and Grumio just behind on the wets. Hope on the wets till two Mercedes drive, one Mercedes and one Haas driver on inters, one Mercedes driver, one Haas driver on wet. The two strongest teams from qualifying so far are choosing both sets of tyres in use. Look how heavy the rain is. I've not seen rain this heavy in league racing in quite a long time. Moments like this when I'm very glad that we're broadcasting this on quite high performance technology, because the rain looks excellent, especially from the T-Cam. You see all the individual droplets on the car. We'll see how these guys navigate the circuit. See, that's just who's on the better tyre here. Lando in the end leave them out. Of course, third and fourth in his first two sessions in qualifying. He's been up there, but not up there enough to try and challenge for pole. But could that change this time round? We haven't seen this circuit in the wet. We don't know who's going to have the advantage. We could see a surprise pole position. Here comes Lando though, through to the line to start the first lap. See one of the Sabers merging out onto the racetrack there. It looks like that is Websy. Yellow flag, that looks to be the Haas of Grumio's pulling it into the pit lane. So was the wet to bad call perhaps? Everyone's on the inters. Hope going for it on the wets. Lando's still on the circuit there. 30.054 is first sector. Where is Imri? Imri 4/10 down on that. So Lando's got the edge on the start. We'll carry on further into the lap and see who's got the speed here. A bit of a slide there from Landlord. Looking here for the second sector split. He's kept the ship steady so far, but it looks like the two drivers in the top two teams who went for the intermediates are the ones who made the right choice. Lando 1:13.2. Amy 1:13.6, still 4/10 down. It's going to take some maggot from Lando in this last sector. And can Imri perhaps snatch the time from him with a better last run? Lando final corners complete his lap time. 141.3. What does Imri have? 141.5. So in the end, he closed in that last sector. So keep an eye on Imri. Pope is in the last corner now. And what are the wet tyres looking at? Looks like a bit of a slower time here. Looks like 42 on the board. 142.3 is slowest time so far. So the wet tyres were the wrong call. Grumio made the right choice coming in. Now change those to intermediates. Let's probably see him back on the circuit now. But Pope P5. That's the lowest we've seen either a Mercedes or a Haas car today. Imri now in third place. Now Cott's got second. 141.4 from the Sauber. Where is Websy? Websy's right there in front of Imri. Well, I assume he's not putting it on a lap by this point. But regardless, it's going to be quite close here to see just who will end up emerging in front overall in this session. James in P4 right now. Of course, James chasing our provisional poles in the championship by 15 points, and this might help his case. Another 13-point swing for Landlord. If the results were like this in the race, would mean that Landlord put himself up to a 28-point lead in the Drivers' Championship over a race victory. And that would mean that James will obviously be in trouble with 7 rounds to go. 7 rounds, of course, after today. Those races being Austin, Vegas, Brazil. Sorry, I got it wrong. And that's Austin, Mexico, Brazil, Vegas, Qatar, Abu Dhabi, and then the finale in Portimao. So all to play for then on circuits that are quite different from each other. Of course, circuits like Vegas and Mexico, which are obviously focused on a lot more top speed. You can put Qatar in there as well. Abu Dhabi, a bit more of a technical circuit. Austin, also quite technical in itself. Of course, Portimao as well will be a challenge for these drivers in addition. 5 minutes to go. Lionel still tops the times. Grumio now on out lap. He's gone for the intermediates this time. Just emerged in the pit lane. Only he and JB have not set lap times yet. Grumio on a weekend where he's looking to try and score some more points to propel himself into that championship fight. To pull off a comeback, to come back from as many points behind as he was and still try and win this championship. It's quite an altitude to climb, but we've seen him do amazing things before, Grumio. It wouldn't be the first time we've seen him do something as brilliant as this. Landau goes faster again, 139.3. Imri back on the racetrack. Hope still on the wet tyre. I'm thinking the wet tyre experiment might have been out the window a bit for him. He's P6 right now. Websy went to second place. 139.9 for Websy. Pope now calling it quits on the wets, coming in, perhaps fit a set of mediums and go for the rest of the race on those. But this wet weather has shook up qualifying without a shadow of a doubt. Landlord still in control of his race car there. Look at that, 6/10 in front of Websy right now. Lucky Lambert into third place. 140.3. Moves put down to 7th. Imri down to 5th. Mercedes now struggling all of a sudden. Grumio now on his lap. And this could be a big lap here. We'll see what the 7-time champion and former Singapore winner's got lined up. 29.3 in the first sector. Fantastic start to a lap. Is Grumio set to quite literally blow everyone out of the water and take provisional pole in the last few minutes. There's 3 minutes to go at this exact moment. In the second sector here. Looks like a dry line. It's definitely formed on the racetrack. But it's still a challenge on these intermediate tyres. Slide in the exit there. What has Grumio got in sector 2? 1 minute 10.559. The second split. Landlord's in the pits, Webb's in the pits, Cott in the pits. Pope on his out lap. Imri's still on the circuit. JB, I think he's yet to emerge from the pit lane. It looks like Grumio's in set to take pole by at least a second or two here. 1:37.6. Now the benchmark. Grumio 1.6 seconds in front for pole position. Cott re-emerging. Will Landlord come back out? He hasn't got a lot of time now. There he goes. Landlord's got to push it here to get himself onto the racetrack in time and to get himself round in order to try and beat Grumio's lap. How late has he left it? Has he left it a bit too late? JB was coming back on the track, might have left it too. Depends how good that dry line is. Depends how quickly these guys can get round in time. Pope's on his out lap. He should make it, without doubt. Not long to go now. The final lap's beginning. Pope's starting his last lap. 1 minute to go. James on his final lap too. He's currently 7th place. Imri on his last lap. 1.4 second improvement. He's a bit more than that though. 3.8 back from pole. Landlord's going to be very close for him here. It's got 40 seconds to make it. He may make it with a second or two to spare. He can't afford any mistakes. Lambert, lucky Lambert goes on pole. 1:37.2. The track's getting drier. Ben starts his final lap. We could see anyone on pole position here. I just opened it up completely, but lucky. Right now, P1. Grumio not improving. Grumio 1:47.5 his last effort. Grumio will not start on pole in this race unless he can nail it on this final lap. There's every chance he does. Landlord just reaches the line. Webbsy, the only car in the pit lane. JB will miss out. It'll be P10. Webbs will be P4 at best. First car through to the line is Imri. The last corner towards the line. Imri goes fastest, 1:36.7. Next car through will be Ben. Ben is a second up. So no, that's not Ben, that is Gaming James we're looking at. Still getting my colours confused for RB and Red Bull in terms of the markers on the OSD. Here comes James, the former Champions leader who wants his perch back. Can he nab it in a pole position? He can nab pole position. James takes it, 1:36.5. Pope the next car through. Pope goes third. 7.5 tenths off, 3/4 of a second away from pole position. Ben 3.4 seconds up. Cott's invalidated in his last lap. He'll be P10 at best, P9 at worst. Landlord 8 tenths up. Grumio 2.5 up after his second sector. That's what he needs right now. He could put himself back on pole. Ben into the last corner now. Looking at the line. Improved to P6. Here comes Grumio. Grumio slides. He still takes it by almost a second. 1:35.6 from Grumio. Here comes Landlord though. Last corner. Can the championship leader take back pole position in the dying moments? He just misses out. 15 thousandths of a second will separate the two Haas cars. Can Lucky do it? No, Lucky in the pits. Grumio in the end takes pole. That was an exciting end to qualifying. At one stage, Lucky Lambert was on pole position. Pope was faster. Imri, James, Landlord, and Grumio all... Sorry. I missed a Landlord on this, but James, Imri, and Grumio all held pole position at different times past the checker flag. Landlord misses out 15 thousandths of a second. He will start from the outside of the front row for that short run towards the first corner. But Grumio, there is your pole sitter. Fantastic lap in the end from everyone. The Haas cars fast as ever. And Grumio nabs his 9th pole of the season. He'll lead Landlord and James to turn 1. Nice job, top 3. Imrie 4th, Pokey 5th, Lucky 6th, Ben 7th, the 2 Salvers of Websy in 8th and 9th. And JB didn't get time in the end, he'll start from P10. We're back in a few minutes' time for the start of the race. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. If you just missed the end of qualifying, I do feel bad for you because that was a very entertaining end to the session. But we are now here, the track is dry, and we are set for the Singapore Grand Prix, round 18 of the Racers Driving League season 17. Minutes away now from the start of the race itself. And here is the circuit going into this Grand Prix. One of the more complicated, more technical tracks on the calendar. Of course, Grovey, former driver for Red Bull, defending race winner. 31 laps. We're looking at a race of most likely to be near an hour. It's one of the longer races of the season. 51.6 was the winning time last time round in season 16. It was in season 15, 2 seasons back, almost a year ago this stage, where Grumio took the win, which I believe was just his 3rd of the season at the time, after a spell of missed races and poor form on return. But Grumio is now back and he's ready to roll. And he sits 39 points back in the Drivers' Championship. Lionel now leads James by 15. Lionel leading for the first time in quite a while. And we'll see if he's got what it takes to hold off the high-flying James this season and to win his 4th ODL Championship while James vies for his 1st. But Grumio tops the pair, who'll lead into turn 1. Cars roll off. And here is your starting lineup. From the back row of the grid, it's Cotley Governor by himself on row 10. In terms of starting tyre, we're looking at the one car that's starting the soft. Everyone else looking at mediums and hards. 4 medium runners. 4 hard runners. Everyone else on the mediums. Row 9, Alvar and Daniel Aaron. Daniel, of course, joined us earlier on in the commentary box during Q2 for a post-quality interview in this case. Red J narrowly missed out on Q2 himself. Lines up P16 for Ferrari, the lead Ferrari in today's race. They look to try and defend that 1-point lead from Aston Martin in the constructors. Curtis lines up P15. Went for a run on the soft tyre in a soaked Q2. Didn't quite pay off for him. PJ lines up P14. Obsessed game of P13. Again, continue to go from strength to strength in qualifying. Ethan lines up in P12. It's Flying Duck alongside him in P11. JV lines up 10th. Of course, the one driver didn't get a lap in Q3. Con Websy lining up 9th and 8th for Sauber respectively. Still 4th place in the constructors to try and close a big gap to Mercedes, but it'll be a tough job from here. Ben lines up P7, one of his best qualifying runs this season. Red J predicted a potential first-time winner in the RDL. Could it be Ben today? I had to find out. Lucky Lambert lines up 6th, briefly held pole position in Q3 then before being trumped by the top 5. Pope in P5 put himself down as the race winner when I asked the predictions earlier on in Q1. Imrie lines up P4. James in 3rd, looking to try and snag back that 15-point lead. He at least close it a little bit. Lando lines up P2, your championship leader, and Grumio looking for his 6th win of the season and 2nd in a row. Sorry, excuse me, his 3rd in a row. Will start from pole position. Victories in Azerbaijan and Monza in the last 2 races for Grumio. He's on a mission. And the race for an 8th Racers Driving League Championship is still very much alive with 8 races to go. Drivers now taking their place on the grid. Connie Goodman, the last one through here, will take a spot. Obsessed and Cott running over their starting grid boxes. Connie nailing his. He's in place. And here we go. 5 lights going on here for the Singapore Grand Prix. Round 18 of the championship. Lights are foot to the floor. We are underway. Good start from Landlord there. Grumio backs into line in towards turn 1. Landlord goes in behind his teammate, tucking in at the first corner. James holds 3rd. Imrie 4th over Pope in 5th. Lucky Lambert looking to his inside there. Everyone gets away nice and clean here. No drama in particular. Ben making moves here. He's already on the right hand side of Lucky Lambert. Going into turn 4. He'll take away P6 and start working on the Mercedes P5. Poor exit though. Here comes McLaren back at him as they run down through what will now be a DRS straight in elapsed time. Lucky Lambert making moves here. He's managed to get looking to try and get around and be about Ben as best he can. They're still side by side on the exit. The battle for P6, the most exciting one here in the field. Further back, you see a number of cars going at it. Someone side steps behind, and everyone moves back into line here. Flying Duck, poor getaway there, down to P17. Not a good start at all here for the RB driver. He's going to manage to get back around Red J. But Grumio leads. It didn't look like the best of getaways, but Landlord tucked in behind his teammate off the line in an opportunity where he could have taken the race lead, and there you have it. James in 3rd place will be losing 3 points to Landlord, things as they are. But still a long way, but definitely a long Grand Prix coming your way over the next hour or so. Imrie there in 4th place, Pope and P5, that top 5 pulling away a bit over Lucky, 1.4 seconds to the good immediately. Ben's got the 2 Saubers of Websy and Cott behind him for company. JB holds Holland's P10 for the minute. Look to help McLaren close and Sauber in the championship. Be a tough ask with both those 2 drivers in front. Grumio completes the first of 31 laps in tonight's Singapore Grand Prix. Back towards turn 1, Landlord 2nd, James still 3rd. Lucky pulling away here. He's only got 2 seconds on Ben and the 2 Saubers behind. DRS now enabled. Ben a bit deep there in turn 1. Keeps it away from the 2 Saubers snapping at his heels. Now will DRS play a factor here early on? Landlord will close on Grumio, but not enough to go for a move. Everyone in the top 5 keeps a single file. There goes Websy, they're making a move on Ben on the outside. Cott might try the inside here, looking late on the Red Bull. Side by side in the exit. Ben holds onto it, but only just. Cott might try and outbrake him on the outside potentially. That'll open the door for JB to try and go for a move potentially. If he can get close enough, won't quite do it. JB stays in line. And Cott is still in 9th place, but Ben falls back to 8th. Is it over yet though? There goes Cott to the inside, looking at it potentially for a second chance. Looking at a second bite of the cherry. Ben's goes a bit too deep there, but will maintain the place. There's just not a lot of room to overtake, even if your opponent makes a mistake. But there's DRS clear lining up. So Cott's really going for it. Down the inside he goes there. Looking there. Squeezed towards the barriers by Ben. And JB takes full advantage of that. Double whammy for Cott there. Loses his chance to fight for P7. Shoots for P8. And loses P9 as a result. And JB taking full advantage there of that incident. Top 5 continue as they are here. Separated overall by 1.7 seconds from Grumio's Pope and P5. Look how close the 2 Mercedes cars are. Running nose to tail here down the main straight. But Pope with the fastest lap. That car's got pace. There it goes to the inside of his teammate into turn 1. The Silver Arrow is not coming to blows though, which is always good to see. These 2 pushing 2nd place in the standings. They'll take it at this rate. Pope now P4, but has he broken DRS to... Oh, around goes Imrie! No damage on that race car, keeping it, reversing it, and then spinning it. Oh, that was dangerous. Oh, that was close to dangerous. in front of them now. Ben around the outside of JB. JB's hunting, making moves. Websy is away. 2.5 in front. Apologies we missed the overtake. But Imri now has his work cut out for him. He wants to try and get back to the leaders. And then there were 3 cars all now in DRS range. Pope lost DRS range. Imri spun out. I think the Haas cars are going to try and pull a gap on James too, but they won't get rid of him that easily. The long-time championship leader across the season. Pope needs a bit more pace out that silver arrow to get himself back in the fight. Imri passed the test game with the DRS to his hand. Oh! Obsessed there, off the racing line. Curtis looking inside there. The flying duck as a result off the circuit. Duck might try and go for a move here potentially. There goes Curtis in front to the inside of Obsessed into turn 1. Curtis takes the place. I think Duck's trying to squeeze through as well. Oh, contact there. Bit of a tap there to the back of the Aston Martin as the RB pulls alongside. And now pulls clear. Flying Duck into P14. He's come back towards the front, continues. Biggest gainer so far has been Daniel Aaron up 5 places. Imri's lost the most of that spin. He's down 7. He's placed in front of Dan right now. Top 3, all running nose within a second of each other. Pope 1.4 behind the lead. Oh, sorry, behind James. And Unlucky has been caught very quickly here by Websy. Cott now leads the rest of the train with JB and Ben right behind him. And PJ on the last point. Imri might try and go for it here. It's a conundrum of a circuit where you can't really take too many risks on overtaking, but when you've got to get back to the front as quickly as you can, you might need it. He's doing a good exit here in order to try and get himself back in front of PJ here. But PJ more focused on closing the gap on Ben. Want to try and move into the chicane, won't be anywhere near close enough to go for that, but perhaps on the main straight. A good exit from the last 2 corners, could see him in position to try and do that. So Imri's closer. Not closing though. Imri has gone through his battery car quickly here. Obsessed Game gets the first penalty of the night. 3 seconds and multiple warnings. Coming in for an early pit stop here. Onto the hard tyres. No damage, so that's just looking to go longer on his second stint. Top 3 cover him with a blanket here. They continue to pull away from Pope and P4 as they've been left stranded by himself. Websy now around Lucky Lambert for P5. We'll start working on closing on the leaders because Websy did very well in this race in season 15 as well. And that race that Grimio did win. Slide there from Cott. McLaren and Sauber going at it here. But it looks like as of right now, Sauber has the upper hand. Ben down to P10. PJ's managed to make the move for P9. Imri still stuck in P11. So Imri really needs to force Ben into a mistake of some kind. Lucky trying to keep pace with Websy right now. With a lock up there. Slide 2 through the first part of the chicane. He keeps it under control, keeps it only just within DRS range. Back up front, we'll see if there's any change in terms of the race to the lead. James only just keeping pace right now. And Landlord not close enough to go for a move on Grimio. Landon's got a lot of battery though, but I suppose for now he must be comfortable to just sit there and wait. Oh, a slide there. As I say that. And that might have been the commentator's curse in full effect. Landlord may have almost broken DRS both himself and for James too. for the minute, we won't see the two championship protagonists go head-to-head with DRS down a straight for the minute. Pope 2 seconds back from James in P3. Imrie looking at Ben, going to the outside of the Red Bull, into the right-hander. Slight bit of contact, but Imrie's got it in the exit. Can he pull clear? He can pull clear. Move Imrie back into the points. And keep an eye on Curtis. He might try and go for both cars if he can. He's on the inside of Ben going into the chicane. Imrie got the line with a slide there. Perhaps could leave him under pressure still. Leaving the corner. What a run there. Ben goes wide. Double whammy as Curtis gets through as well. Takes the place away. Ben out the points and down in P12 just like that. Imrie will now get to work on closing on PJ in front. 2 seconds to close. We're on lap 7 of this race. It's flown by so far. Almost if we're nearing a third of the way through. They'll keep it under control for the most part. PJ passing JB here for P8. So Imrie will have JB next on the radar now. And the runner, he sits 17 seconds back from the leaders. So that spin, a few laps go, really hurting him. He'll continue pushing on, and we'll see what he's got lined up for the rest of this race. Looks like the RB and James have been dropped by the two Haas cars, who are now making their own way. And with no DRS to help James, that could mean Pope tries to close in a bit more. Green in control here since the lights went out. He's now leading on to lap 8 of this Grand Prix. Ben, there's a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. This is the second driving penalty tonight. Oh, around goes Daniel Aron on the main straight. Flying duck pitting down around. Is he going to try and recover it? There he goes. A lot of damage on the side of that race car. The wing almost, one half of the wing almost completely gone. Duck emerges just behind them. And Pope closing massively here on James, and as while he's doing that, his teammate Imrie is busy closing on JB and PJ. These guys are on a bit of a train here. Yellow flag, flying duck around. Looks like he's got a bit of in-play damage there on the right side. We'll check his goes past. Yes, he has. That might mean another pit stop if he can't if he can't drive with that. Got past him lucky with P6. Yellow flag again on the main straight. Not sure how it's actually for though. So everything's okay. Pope close to James now, within DRS range, and James now 3 seconds behind the two Haas cars, who are getting to work. We'll see what Imrie's got lined up for JB here. Does JB look to PJ first? Neither car close enough to really make a move. Curtis is 1.2 back from Imrie. Ben a further 1.8 back. Flying duck gets a penalty. Yellow flag is down around again. This time trying to find the pit lane. Oh! And off into the pit wall he goes, and the safety car has been deployed. First retiree of this race, Daniel Aron goes out. And the two Haas cars must come happy with that, given the lead they were pulling. In comes Grumio into the pit lane. Now I'll back a little bit. Has joined him. So both Haas cars and everyone's coming in. Looks like. Pope on the hard tyres. Could we see the rest of the race run on those? Have to wait and see. Lando loses that mass with the double stack there. Down 2 places. So Grumio emerges in the lead then. James up to 2nd. Pope in 3rd. Lando 4th. Redjep to 5th place. He stayed out. Websy 6th. Lucky 7th. Coin 8th. PJ 9th. JB 10th. Imri down to 11th. He obviously drops a place because of Redjep staying out. But is that a risk there being taken on by Redjep, who may find himself potentially, if he hasn't got the pace, could find himself to be a roadblock on the cars behind? So, we're under the safety car on lap 10 of this Grand Prix. Still 21 to go across the line. So everyone closing back up to the safety car now. Flying up the perfect opportunity to come to the pit lane. So he's now he'll obviously lose track position, but that's more or less where he started before the safety car came out. So we'll see in terms of pace what he's got lined up. RB, of course, perhaps under threat. They were under threat of losing perhaps their 2nd place to the constructors, but right now they're outscoring Mercedes. As Redjep does that come into the pit lane, he'll lose track position as a result of that. They're going to change their medium tyres going in that car. Majority of the field on hards here, so that's looking to go a lot longer than the 2nd stint. Perhaps another safety car towards the end of the race could mean a sudden dash for softer mediums. So everyone are back together again, because we really saw pace-wise what everyone was really looking at under the first stint. And we've still got a few drivers who obviously by this point now out of position. Of course, the main one being Imri down in 10th place. We did have Redjep out of position, but he's gone back towards the back again after making his pit stop. James in P2 there, obviously not out of position, he's right there where he was. But of course he's gained 2 places off, sorry, he's gained 1 place off of Lando, that says Pope. So those guys both up. So Grumio will lead, we'll see what we'll do in the restart. It's going to be close whether we're going to get a restart or not. That safety car staying where it is. Does James close up enough in time? Sorry, not James, James Duck. We might get a late one here if Duck closes up. He's there, yes, here we go, safety car in this lap. Grumio will lead him away. A late restart, we're getting right back at it. Time to kick the fires and light the tyres once again. Grumio pulls away. 20 laps to go in this thing. We are back on the way in Singapore. Good getaway from the reigning series champions, turn 1. James in second place. And Lalo, let's get to work trying to work through these two guys in front of him. So the top 4 is trying to pull away already. Imrie needs to get right to work from P10. He's got 6 places to gain. Let's get himself back where he was. He's got to get himself around 5 cars. Let's get himself back to P5, sorry. It looks like Curtis has another idea. He's closing a decent out there. He's going to pull to the inside of the racetrack. Going all the way in there. Big dive bomb. Curtis hits JB. Ben got a piece of that too. And JB falls to the bottom of the order. That was quite opportunistic from Curtis, who now finds himself in P10. Obsessed that damage. JB. I'm thinking about got away with the damage wise. I think Ben got a piece of that too. Caution's out. And a success game off the circuit, completing no win on that race car at all. And things have now fallen apart for Aston Martin, almost as they did last week. Conor Goblin now out of the race as well. Grumio 1.3 to the good over James. Pope with the penalty there. P3. Lando 4th. Imrie now in 9th. Yellow flag again. Again, success gamer. Grumio the fastest lap. Onto lap 12 of this race. Excuse me, onto lap 13, sorry. Obsessed to recover the car with banking on another safety car. DRS is in play, but no gains for anyone really. Sorry, there's Imrie to the inside of PJ Callaghan into turn 6. He'll take it. PJ losing, going down one. Imrie up another spot. He's got to hustle these next few corners to get himself back in range. Perhaps trying to make a move on Cott. Unlucky. Can't afford to lose too much time. He can get himself within range for the DRS. They'll keep him away from PJ for the time being at least. And he's just done it. Imrie will be in range for DRS. He'll stay with that top 8. And James is really holding back the hill for Grumio, allowing him to pull away again. But this time Landlord is caught in the train. And James closes as it stands. 6 points. Bringing that gap down to just 9 in the standings. Sorry, scrap that. Bringing that gap down to only by 3 because of Pope's penalties. That'll put James 12 points back in the standings. Imrie makes a move on Cott there, taking away P7. Imrie's on the charge here. And looking to get to work on closing on Lucky Lambert and Webster for P6 and P5 to get himself back where he was earlier on. So safety car's been a godsend for Imrie here. Already up 3 places from where he was. See James and Pope going at it towards turn 7. Contact. Both drivers race winners this season. James, of course, leading the championship quite a bit. Pope with a penalty. He feels like he's got the pace today. They're side by side. Pope going wider. Might be a bit of contact. James will maintain the place, and everyone behind Pope will lose time. Imrie now right with that pack as they race for what now be P2. But James has to try and get away, but 4 seconds already for Grumio in front. Yellow flag, and that's Lucky Lambert around. And the race has fallen away from McLaren here. He's recovered that safely and got himself in the running again. P14 for Lucky. Might be P15 if Flying Duck can get to him. Can't quite. JD passing out off P12. These guys both out the points now. Grumio 4.2 to the good here. So again, lap 15. We're nearing the halfway stage of this race. Pope looking to close back in on James. I would be too pleased with that bit of contact in the last lap, but I assume was contact. Yellow flag again. That is Flying Duck around on the main straight. And he's not the first driver to be caught up there tonight. Pope right there behind Duck. Sorry, behind James. I keep my RBs mixed up. Pope behind James. Imri now hunting Websy for P5. Of course, a podium chance for Pope now looking quite unlikely unless everyone splits up. But this game with the penalty there. 6 seconds to his name. He's got 6 alongside Ben. He's also got 6. 3 for Duck, 3 for Alvar, and 3 for JB, and 3 for Pope too. Grumio's got all to himself right now. He's in complete control of this race. 5 seconds in front. We'll continue on here. Halfway through the race, onto lap 16. These guys all running close together. P2, P3, P4, arguably the closest on circuit at the minute. 2 McLaren, Lucky and JB close together as well. Holding off Alvar. It's 5 seconds to enter Red J in front. Red J banking on there being perhaps one more instant in front. They'll put him into the points. In front, Pope closing on James here. Might go for it. Close to contact. There goes Landau around his outside. The championship leader back into P3 outright. Pope and Websy side by side going into the left-hander. Imri looking behind him to try and pick up the pieces, but he's got a bit of a mistake himself, so Colt might try and make it perhaps a formation run for Mercedes and Sauber. Pope's on the outside. Websy, oh, bit of a shove there from Websy. And I almost sent Pope into the barriers. Caught Imri side by side. Oh, contact! And there goes Imri's end plate. And that could be big trouble for Mercedes. That could be trouble for him if he has to stop again. Alright, so try and avoid stopping if he can. Up 17 in this race. Cotton Websy for Sauber in a very good position here. Imri stays out. Lock up from Websy at turn 1. This pack now falling apart a little bit. Landau just outside of the DRS range from James. Grumio now almost 6 seconds in front. There it is, the mark. 6 seconds. Further back, it's still the 2 McLarens there together. They've brought down that gap between them and Red J to 3 seconds. 4 from Red J to Ethan. Williams on some good points today. So they look to try and push further in front of Red Bull. Red Bull's Ben, the only car for Red Bull on the field. Chain not with us this week. Yellow flag. And that is Duck. That's an end plate there. Damaged the car, but recovers it. Oh, that's a lot more than just an end plate there. Big wing damage for Duck in the RB. I imagine that probably warrant another pit stop, but not his day so far. Not at all. Grumio's has all in his own way since he got back on the way about 7 laps ago. It's been a very entertaining 7 laps behind him since. PJ right there behind Imri. Drove himself back in the fight as Imri fights that damage on his front wing. Landau now begins to fight James in position. The 2 championship rivals going at it. All while in front of their closest challenger. To compare them is sitting there extending his lead. What will Landau do here? Good exit, DRS and battery both in play. Both cars using overtake. James squeezing Landau towards the left-hand side of the racetrack, but Landau's inside, and there goes the 3-time series champion down the inside into the P2. Good move there from Landau. James squeezed him a bit. Back up the inside for James there. No contact. Landau maintains P2. What a run there from the Haas driver. And has he now got the strength to start chipping into that 7, what is now almost an 8-second lead to his teammate? Or is he willing to try and just hold the field back? in the past, it's been easy to liken the two Haas drivers to Hamilton and Bottas. That combination, but what you forget is Landlord is still a 3-time series champion, still one of the fastest guys in the field as of right now, still remains Haas's best chance to win the Drivers' Championship. Yellow flag in 2 places here. Duck in the pits. Scammer just spun out, but Ben just had some kind of altercation too by himself. On to lap 19. PJ passing Imre of P7, close to contact at turn 1. Keep an eye on Curtis because he's trying to fight behind these guys. Both McLarens around Red J now. And get to work and close on Ethan in P10. Imre on the outside of PJ going in around the outside. The corner he spun out earlier. He got the DRS, he's pulled away. There goes Imre. PJ looking around. There goes Curtis to his outside, making the move first. Curtis makes it stick. He won't try Imre just yet. But a good move there from the Alpine driver to get himself higher in the top 10. Darting from side to side to keep PJ behind him. Alba passing Red J now. James still 4 tenths behind Landlord right now. And Pope in P4. As of right now, he is running P5, perhaps P6 in the running order of the penalty, depending on how far back the gap is between himself and Websy. It's just game with the yellow flag on the race straight, but looks like it's all okay. No damage on that car, it looks all safe. Grumio still leads here. Lap 20 of this race. Lando in complete control of second place at the minute. But will James give a bit more pressure this time? It's a lot closer than he was last time round. Lando's held that place for 2 laps. As a result, right now he's gaining more points on James in the standings. Game 3 as it stands. James can swing those 3 back in his favour again if he makes the pass. He's closing. Won't go for it though. Keeps in line, but right there up the chuff of the Haas machine. Pope still in P4. Cop P5, over P6, Imre P7, and Ben's out of the session. Ben's crashed, safety car comes back out again. Well, now what do? Majority of the field on hard tyres. The 2 medium runners, Curtis and Ethan, will know what to do. They're coming in, I have no doubt. But Ben becomes the 3rd retiree of the race. And this race might get a bit more interesting. So we'll see in terms of strategy what these guys have lined up. But Grumio must be very disappointed. That whole almost 12-second advantage out the window completely here. Let's do it all again. Pope staying out. In comes Grumio. Onto medium tyres. Haas this time ready for Landor. There's too many risk of him losing any place at any time here. And 2 cars come out in front of him. Cott and James both. Oh no, Landor, it's in between Cott and James. Cott comes out the best of those cars. Everyone's in. Medium tyres going onto each and every single car. But Pope crucially chose to stay out. What was the move there? Was that the right call? We'll have to wait and see. Pope's got a car in between him and Grumio. It's Obsessed Gamer. So waiting now for everyone to catch up. Everyone on those medium tyres coming to the pit lane. So I'll have fresh mediums to run to the end. Fair contest. But Pope, that question strategy, will it come back to bite him? Perhaps banking on that penalty being removed, the track limits penalty. So now just waiting on everyone to come back up to the safety car. Reggie will be the last one to do that. He'll be back at the back of the train. Obsessed and Flying Duck in within the train in a minute. Currently sandwiching Grumio. So we're now within the final 10 laps of this Grand Prix. Oh, what's happened to me? Everyone's stopped up for some strange reason. Perhaps to unsettle the order. Just trying to get the lap cars out of the way, perhaps. So the order now is the same as it was in terms of the safety car, but Flying Duck is now the one in front of Obsessed Gamer. He's the one in front of Grumio, and Obsessed is now the one behind Grumio. I think Duck was trying to unlap himself, and that was what transpired there. Everyone's now together again, and we'll have 9 laps settle it. The safety car coming in this lap. Pope will lead us to the restart. Grumio is in second. But of course, has an extra car to navigate. Okay, right. So, fresh mediums on everyone. Pope taking the risk of going on those hard tyres all the way to the flag. And we'll probably see Obsessed and Duck out of the way here in the restart. We get to the main straight. Pope is gone. What a lead he's pulled here. He'll lead away. Green flag goes back out on lap 23. Duck Obsessed move out of the way. Getting back to work here. Cart taking advantage here. He's in third place in a minute. But Lando back in front of James. Embry down to P9, got caught up in the pit stops. And will now have to work his way back to the field here. Can he charge back to try and claim a higher point, perhaps even a podium finish? He's had the pace for it, but hasn't had these guys away so far. Lock up in front, everyone keeping it under control. Curtis to the inside, Websy going into turn 7. Contact between the pair of them. Websy maintains their place. There goes PJ at the inside. PJ and Curtis side by side. Emery behind, looking to try and pick up the scraps. Curtis around the outside. He'll take away the place. Emery perhaps looking for P8 off of PJ. Going side by side, trying side to side. Oh, into the wall there goes the Williams. And Emery just about gets past him on the inside and pulls clear on the exit. And Grumio reclaims the lead from Pope, but it's not over yet. If Pope can maintain pace when the DRS comes into play, we could still have a race. And Cott's now into play too. Cott is one of the few drivers hunting his first win of the season. Has he got what it takes to take on Grumio here? Around these streets, around these city streets. On to lap 24. DRS deployed again. Flying duck out the race. He's caught it, retired in the pit lane, I think. Lando passing Pope around the outside. Looks like the gamble. Pope's gone those hard tyres. At the end, it's backfired. Even though there's a number of places here, but Cott now finds himself in a Haas sandwich going towards the end of this race. Emery's still got PJ and Curtis planning for company. Pope's gamble has not paid off for him. He sits in P5 now. Can Cott get around Grumio? Grumio's been naturally the fastest on track all day. Anything can still happen. Webb's making the move on Pope here. Webb's around him too. Could he fight for a podium alongside his teammate? PJ passing Curtis. Those two side by side with the right hander. Close to contact, but PJ just about clears his opponent there. See, Lucky looking at in the chicane too. Went for it. Didn't pay off. Grumio fastest lap. Again, he's held to that point throughout the evening. It's been a dominant drive, and yet it still could be disrupted by a Cott. This race is in no way over, but Landau falling away from DRS-wise. He's still within range, but if these two keep going at it, Grumio using his overtake to try and pull away. Try and maintain that gap as much as he can. Try and keep Cott from closing enough to go for a move. Cott over the curb there. Yellow flag again as obsessed around in turn number 3. The exit turn 3 recovers it. No damage to the Aston Martin, but a chance to points there done for the Aston Martin team. Not been a good day for them. Red J with enough penalties could potentially try and put it up in the points. Try and expand Ferrari's lead in the constructors for P9. At this rate as well, it doesn't look like we'll be seeing Mercedes taking away P2 in the constructors. Only getting 2 points to stand right now. They need 8. Landlord gaining 3 on James right now. Cott is closing. Might go for the lead here potentially. So look to the outside. Won't outbreak the champion. And a brawl is surely brewing for these last 6 laps here in Singapore. Cott closing, but doesn't want to go for the lead just yet though. They will wait until hang on until turn 6. He's there looking at the outside just to let Grumio know he's about. Bit of a slide there from the champ. Slide from Cott too. Lando looking around. Top 3 all gunning for the race lead. Lando, I assume, as James is named to have priority behind him, but I imagine he wants to win the race too. Imri with the penalty. Mercedes not looking good all of a sudden. Cott to the outside of the race leader. Grumio's led all day, but now Cott is the first car to race for the lead on track. Contact between the pair of them. Did both cars get away clean? No damage on either one of them. We'll continue racing. Landau there behind him. Keep an eye on all 3 cars here. And James is still there in 4th place. Could play into it again. Yellow flag. That's Curtis around. Oh! And there goes Curtis. And a virtual safety car has been deployed. The action paused momentarily here. I think Red J got a bit of a glancing hit from that. I think he's lost part of his wing. Would surprise me if he hasn't. There's white on one side of the wing, but from the HP graphics, but no sign of any white on the other side. There it is. There is the extent of the damage. End plate gone. Drive through for Obsessed Gamer for speeding under the VSC. Red J also caught out from that. The race more or less done for those 2 cars. 5 laps to go. Landon into 2nd place and Grumio almost a second up. Does Landon try and hold his teammate in position to the flag? Does he try and help the team maintain the 1-2? 5 retirees down to just 14 cars in this race. Red J serving his drive through. All of a sudden, Cox goes back against the wall. He needs to get back around Landau quickly in order to try and run with Grumio for the win once again. Grumio needs to try and extend that lead in order to keep Cott from threatening him. And James needs to get himself back in the fight here to try and close on Landlord and avoid losing any more points than he needs to in the Drivers' Championship. He's already behind in the standings by 15 coming into today. He'll be behind by 21 if things stay as they are. If Landlord can try and nick the fastest lap, that'll be 22 points. That fastest lap belongs to Grumio by 2/10 over Landlord. Is Landlord content with just running his teammate, running behind his teammate at the end of the race in order to keep those points he's gained? He could gain 13 if he wins this thing. There's 4 laps to go. On to lap 28. Despite the penalties right now, it looks like Mercedes is safe for both P6 and P7 in the order right now. Imrie 3 seconds clear of Lucky Lambert. But Lucky perhaps hunting a P7 finish in there, as well as holding off PJ for pit for 8th. Back up front. The Landlord still just holding off Cott right now, doing his job. Win-win here. Hassel will take the 1-2 and Landlord will gain the championship over James. As I say, James, I imagine, is Landlord's main priority, beating him over beating his teammate. I'd imagine the gloves come off and Grumio gets a bit closer. And he will get a bit closer by another 7 points. He'll bring it down to around sort of 30 points in the championship to Landlord with the win plus fastest lap if he holds on to it. So I can't fall away a little bit here. Down to 7.5 tenths behind, about 3/4 of a second. Is there a chance that Landlord just holds it in line till the last lap and then goes for it? Grumio's got the pace to contend with anyone around here. He's been the master of Singapore tonight. He's led every lap. Save for the few behind safety car with Pope led for staying out. No flag. I think enough. That's Pope around. He's slid off the last corner. He's outside of the points now. And Mercedes definitely won't be taking RB in the Constructors' Championship today. And they won't close in. Imrie is off the pace too. Assess lets him through. Yellow flag behind him being caused by Aston Martin. It's all okay. Let them go. Just now 2 laps down. Landlord still out behind Grumio. Cott and James now fight each other. They're almost a second out of range. Cott will only just maintain DRS. He's got a lot of battery save. All 4 cars are battery saved, but Landlord and Grumio have got a whole surplus. And they're 2 laps away from a 1-2. Grumio slides there. Do we see Landlord go for it? Is there any chance of Landlord perhaps putting his team under more pressure than he needs to be? It's not a case anymore. These guys backing each other up. Grumio goes wide. Landlord follows him with the circuit there. That was close. Not sure what that was about, but 2 laps to go. Cott sliding around. Won't get DRS this time, so they may have lost this race. Both Landlord and Grumio have DRS. Sorry, DRS. Landlord's got a bit more there in the bank there. James to the inside of Cott, the former championship leader, looking for P3. He'll take P3. It's close though. Cott's still on the inside. Both cars keeping it nice and clean, keeping it under control. Can't throw away points now. A collision between both drivers could put Websy back on the podium. Imrie looks set for P6 in a minute, but James now in P3. And RB will open up a gap for Mercedes and the Constructors. Now, will Landlord have anything for his teammate? These guys are now 2 seconds in front. They've got a bit of a cushion. They can fight each other, but will they fight each other? It's been a little while since we've seen Grumio and Landlord really tangle on the racetrack, racing for position, much less for a race win. Could we see shades of Season 12? 1 lap to go here in Singapore. Alvar penalty there for multiple warnings, 3 seconds to his name. What will Landlord do? Will he stick behind his teammate there? Keep in mind that a potential move could jeopardise things for both of them if he gets it wrong. But will he go for it though? He's closing in on his teammate. Grumio defends the inside, Landlord to the outside. Can he outbrake him? He won't outbrake him. He's going to try and switch back though to the outside. There goes Landlord. Grumio back up the inside. He'll maintain P1, but they're still going back. They're still going at it. This could be a fantastic final lap for the ages. Oh, Landlord slides it. Almost loses the car. And that might be the end of the matter with half a lap to go. Grumio looks set for the win. Landlord starting around now. Has he pushed it a bit too far? The championship leader, who didn't need to go for it. He's safe. He's good for P2, but wants those few more points. I couldn't imagine us seeing team orders in play where Grumio moves over the last second. I couldn't imagine that happening here. It looks like Grumio is good for the win unless Landlord tries anything at the last second. I think he knows he's good where he is. Grumio is going to go 3 wins in a row if he can maintain these in the last part of the race here. 2 corners to navigate, and it's a 3rd straight win and a 6th win of the season for Grumio, who wins in Singapore. Landlord home in 2nd, James in 3rd, Cott 4th, Websy takes home 5th in the end. Websy gets 4th after Cott's penalty. Cott 5th, Imrie 6th, Lucky 7th, PJ 8th. We'll wait for confirmation in terms of penalties as JB will lead out Ethan and Alvar to the line. Alvar takes the last point over Ethan. Pope will finish in P12. Red JP 13, Obsessed in P14. What a race there. And I so thought that Landlord was really going to nab the lead from Grumio, who had led for likely about 27, 28 laps of this race. But Grumio is the winner by 0.3 of a second. Just shows you how close Singapore is sometimes. Those safety cars were well timed to bring everyone close together once again. We've seen fire, we've seen rain. And Grumio emerges as the winner tonight in Singapore. Exciting stuff then all round here in Singapore. And we'll get post interviews going shortly after what was a very exciting race here under the lights. So we'll see then who comes along. We'll see if we can get anyone around before another interview. We saw a few drivers earlier on. James, we've got James in first. James, mate, podium in the end, but close fight with you and Cott in the last few laps. Talk me through your day, mate.
Yeah, it's been a decent race. I suppose I didn't have quite just enough pace, but good start. Decent middle section. good end, I suppose, as well. Get the podium. It's long awaited, a wee bit.
More of a return to form for you compared to the last couple of weeks, but of course, Landlord does open up the gap a little bit more in the standings. Are we under a bit more pressure now than we were a few weeks ago?
Yeah. Well, I mean, as long as he keeps opening his standings here, like keeping the gap increasing, the pressure will keep increasing. Like so, but I mean, I'm just glad I actually was able to finish in the points this race.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's obviously minus the podium in Monza. Obviously, it hasn't been a great run since Silverstone. But obviously, it's good to have you back on the podium places in the end. I mean, obviously, over the race, the safety cars played a crucial part in that. Did you see that last one? Obviously, you gained a place or two in the pits. We say that was a big help for you today.
No, I've actually lost a position in the pit for that last one.
I might be wrong. I'm probably am wrong. If I
Yeah, I lost it to Caught. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
that's
sorry, yeah,
I
that's
mean,
right. Yeah, you're correct.
Yeah. But I mean, it's just made it more of a challenge, I suppose, more entertaining for me.
Yeah, it's certainly entertaining for us as well. I mean, how was the racing on that day? Do you have any particular issues with anyone that didn't really have much trouble?
No, I mean the racing was very like fair but very close and all. You know, basically like touching wheels for your corners and all. Like it's very good.
Close to contact. And of course, racing caught in particular. There was no particular drama there, was there?
No.
Sounds good. Okay, well, obviously 7 more rounds to go in the championship. So the drivers' fight still is very much on. Obviously, 18 points back going into the next one at Austin. How is Austin as a circuit for you?
I actually love this circuit today.
Oh,
like,
really?
I love it. So, I mean, I'm hoping I can win it. Actually, I quite like the next 3 races, apart from Mexico. Well, it's the last. But yeah, not a huge fan of Mexico, like, but I do quite like Mexico as well. At the same time, like a love-hate relationship with it.
Fair enough. So we'd say we are looking at race win number 5. Cause I'm waiting to call that one for quite a while for you.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah. I need it. So I need a race win number 5.
Fair enough. I mean, obviously, keep you in that title hunt. Do we still see yourself winning that championship at the end of the season?
Just hope so, honestly. Just hoping at this point.
Like sometimes that's all you really can do in a league as competitive as this. Well, congratulations on the podium. I'll move on now
Thank
to
you.
Obsessed Gamer, who just joined us. Obsessed, mate, unfortunately, commiserations for you, not quite how we wanted to go. The pace was strong though, but I think you just got caught out towards the end of the Grand Prix. Talk me through it.
Just unfortunate. Yeah, I felt like I had great pace. Just really unfortunate with timing of safety cars and everything. Like, yeah, I got caught by a lot of the safety cars, and some of them helped me. 1 or 2 of them messed me up a little bit. But yeah, no, overall, not a horrible race. Definitely not the way that I wanted it to go, but yeah.
Of course, the thing about qualifying, obviously did very well in Q1 to make it into the second round, but obviously the rain arrives in circuit. You were the one car went on to intermediates. What was the plan there?
I tried the softs. It felt like I was on a slip and slide, and I figured I'd rather try to put in a time without putting my car into a wall. So yeah, just tried them out. Didn't really work out that well, but didn't hurt any because there wasn't going to be any rain in the race. So figured I'd give her a go.
Fair enough, mate. So it was worth trying. Of course, you're the one guy with the balls to do that across both sessions. Obviously, no ground gained or lost between Ferrari and Aston Martin in the Constructors' Championship. Do you reckon you guys at Aston could still get the points you need towards the end of the season?
Yeah, I think we can. I think it almost happened today. But of course, with the safety cars and Dan crashing out, it's just unfortunate. But I think it could have happened today. Hopefully, it'll happen in the next few races. But
Of course, speaking of the next few races, of course, 2 of the next 5 will be home races for you. Is that correct?
Yep, Miami or Las Vegas and Texas.
Obviously, Texas next time out. Would it be the ideal scenario to get the points there in particular? Obviously,
I'm not a huge fan of Texas, to be honest. I don't like a lot of it, especially the S's. I'm not a fan of those. But yeah, no, I think given the right circumstances, it could definitely happen. And it'd always be nice to get first points at a home race.
Definitely. Well, I'll have to see if that come true for you. Obviously, I know that home points aren't perhaps as big in league racing because everyone's just sat where they are. But we'll have to see. But hopefully those points will come to you for the end of the season. We'll see you back here next week. Hopefully we continue on with the stronger runs, particularly in qualifying. And I'll move on now to Pope, who came along, on not as excellent this time. But Pope, in the end, points just alluded to you. What happened towards the end of the Grand Prix? 'Cause I didn't actually catch it on camera. Pope, can you hear us?
Yeah, sorry, I'm just messing about per usual. No, I just spun it. I knew I wouldn't get points anyway, no matter what. So I was just kind of pushing as hard as possible and had a nice little spin.
Nice spin indeed. Shame we didn't pick it up, but regardless, it's still good to see you trying new things. Obviously, across the race, the pace was there for you guys to keep up. Although, in terms of going into that last safety car, making the choice to try and take the risk, stay on the hard tyres, what was the plan there?
I didn't have any mediums. Team forgot to pack the mediums apparently. So I had one set of mediums for the entire race, and unfortunately, I would have done that. What everyone else did. Obviously, it was the correct strategy call and the smart one. But I thought, fresh hards, I'm gonna end up in the same position no matter what. So I said, you know what, might as well risk it for a nice chocolate digestive biscuit. And unfortunately, it didn't pay out. But that's what happens sometimes.
Make me hungry, but don't do that. But I mean, was there any consideration of the soft tyres at all, or was that a bit too far in terms of tyres?
Yeah, way too far. You could do one lap and they're already pretty much used up. The soft tyres are horrific, so a little bit of me said maybe, but I just wouldn't see the point of it at all.
Fair enough. I mean, obviously the choice is there, but if you've chosen to go for it, that is first. Of course, 7 rounds still to go. Our RB opened up the gap a little bit in the Constructors' Championship. I think we're looking at about 20 points at this stage. Is it still on for you guys to try and catch him?
Oh yeah, I think we'll probably catch him somewhat easily. I think we just had a really bad off race this week. I mean, since Q3 pretty much onwards, I didn't feel right. Something felt a bit off, and then I was completely stranded in that first stint. So, yeah, Texas, it's looking good. Obviously, I know that's the next question you're going to ask, but. It's a cool track. I'm not really particularly fast really at any of these next few tracks. And obviously Las Vegas and Qatar will be first time races for me. So we'll see what happens.
I have to wait and see. We'll see whether those races are going to come back here into the commentary box on a more permanent basis. We'll have to see what goes down there. While you both still here, can we get a word of the race, please? Open to either one, yeah. So
I'd say yellow, yeah, because the amount of yellow flags, I was really confused on what was going on half the time.
There were
because
I
yellow
thought
flags just
yellow.
kept appearing.
So we'll go with yellow, like the Coldplay song, yeah.
Exactly, and it was all
No,
yellow.
no.
Sector 1 at Singapore, it was all yellow.
That was okay. That's no excuse for you to start singing, folk. We don't have that till the end of the season. Actually, we'll even do that because obviously you're a driver now, so it's like.
I've been doing donuts on the formation lap instead, mate.
It's up to you. That's what I can see there. If you guys still want to see Pope sing at the end of the season, let us know in the comments or in the chat below. And make sure to use the word yellow in the live chat. Or if you are here after the race, go to the comment section, type in the word yellow, and let us know what song you think Pope should sing while he's doing his donuts. It's always something new.
I like that one. That one's nicer than all the other ones.
Well, let us know what you think of Pope trying to do donuts a bit too early in the last lap.
Yeah.
And so while Pope kills me off camera, that'll be the end of the stream. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Make sure to join us next week for the 21st of October for the United States Grand Prix in Texas. I'll be a year older by that point. I'll be 20 come next week, so that'll be very nice. It's my birthday week, so it's been a good start to the week. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we shall see you next time. Goodbye.